Okay, page 4 and 5, I want you to write this as your title, points, lines, segments, and then I want you to go to page 5 and write that at the top of page 5. Leave 4 blank for now. We'll do something in 4 in just a minute. That's probably okay. Okay, so here's what our plan is. So everybody's on page 5, right? 4 is blank. You're on page 5, and it says points, lines, segments at the top. Okay, that's kind of an abbreviated. What we're going to do is we're going to look at points, lines, segments, and planes, and we're going to talk about how you name those things. So today we're just naming these, and I've got a couple of the vocab words. So on page 5, I want you to start with the word point. So we're talking about some point on either a line, on a plane, someplace. Some point is represented by a dot. It's very mathematical. This is what you're writing down. Everyone should be writing this down. And underneath this, I'm going to show you how you're going to name it. The way you name a point is you use one letter. So whatever the letter is next to the dot, that's what you use. So this is as easy as it sounds. A point is a dot. It's going to have a letter next to it. And if I want to name that point, I use the letter. Okay, I'm not doing anything tricky. That's as easy as that is. So on page, well, never mind. I'll do that after. Okay, so let's go on to something a little more fun. Let's go on to a line. The definition of a line is a straight path that goes on forever. I'm going to say in both directions. I'll pull this up so you can see it better. So here's a line, a straight path that goes on forever in both directions. So here's how we would name a line. We see a line, it's going to have points on them. You're going to use 2 letters that are on the line with a dash with arrows. So it could look something like this. AB with a dash and arrows. The arrows are important because that shows that it's a line. That's not a line. The segment is different. A line, the way you do a line, you make sure you've got the arrows. Okay, next one we're going to talk about is a plane. It's not an airplane. A plane is a flat surface. So this piece of paper right here is a plane. Your desk is a plane. What's another plane?
Floor.
The floor is a plane.
The ceiling.
The ceiling is a plane.
Board.
The board is a plane. The door is a plane. Okay. Any flat surface that you can basically write on or put information on. Okay. So, yep. They said the floor. So the way we name a plane, and this will be the last one we do, and then we'll go to lunch and come back and finish up. The way we name a plane is sometimes they use like a fancy letter, like a cursive letter, like here, like that. It'll be in the corner of the plane. Or, and this is what we'll do more often, any 3 letters in the plane. So any 3 points in the plane, because letters represent points. Okay, we're going to pause there because we've got a minute and a half for lunch. And then we'll come back and do 2 more. We'll draw some stuff. And then we've got 2 vocab words. And then we'll do a little work.
I have these ready for you if you guys
we're going to go on to a segment. So a segment is different from a line because it doesn't go on forever. Please don't talk. I think we're going to have to get some seating charts in here because we can't learn to stop talking when I start talking. Okay, a segment has a start and end point. So it's different than a line because a line goes on forever. So a segment will have a starting point and an ending point. And the way that we name a segment, it's a lot like a line. You use 2 letters and just a dash. So a line, what did the dash have on it for a line? Arrows. A segment just has a dash, and it can be something like this. A, B with a dash. That's how you show it's a segment instead of a line. Okay, last of these, and then I've got 2 vocab words. Array. So basically, if a segment and a line got married and had a baby, they would name that baby Ray because it has a starting point and a point and goes forever. Here's how you name array. You use 2 letters, just like we did for a segment and a line, but you also use this symbol. You don't have to do a dot. Just a dash and an arrow, meaning I start out as a segment, but I end like a line. So it would look like this. A, B, dash and an arrow. Okay, here are your 2 vocab words, and then we're going to draw these and name them. Vocab word number 1 is collinear. Go ahead and write it down, and then we'll talk about it. Collinear. Okay, so Mrs. McQuigg and I, we co-teach. What does that mean? What are we both doing?
You are teaching.
We're both teaching. If I am a co-president, How many presidents do you have? And they are both presidents, right? So what does the word linear mean? I'm seeing this. What's a word for that? A line.
Well,
I heard some.
The
Scientific name is linear.
Yeah.
So the definition of that is it's a line. So if I am co-lining, what do you suppose you're sharing? No? Close? Let's say I'm a dot and I'm co-lining. What am I sharing?
The same line.
Not the same plane. I said nothing about a plane.
One line.
One line. So if you're co-linear, you are sharing a line. So if I have a line here, and I have the points A, B, C, they are all collinear because they're sharing the same line. Okay, now let me give you another one. I bet you can tell me this definition. Coplanar. What are they sharing now? They're sharing a plane. So if I have some kind of plane that looks like this, and I have the point E, F, G, they are all coplanar. Okay, over on page 4, so your blank page. Here's what I want you to put on page 4, exactly like I'm going to have it. I want you to draw these things.
On page 4, guys.
On page 4.
Yeah. So it's on the other side where you haven't taken notes.
I want you to draw these 4 things. Okay, once you get these drawn on here, I want you to name each thing. And I don't mean name like, is it a segment? I want you to name it using how I told you would name something. Okay, so like this one, you're not going to say point. You're going to name it how you would. How do you name the point here? What would you call it? What would you say?
The dot.
No. R. Did you say R? R is correct. So I would just say R. Okay, so now name the other 3 things with the correct symbol, and then we'll see if you got it right.
So label this, she told you that that's R. So see how she wrote it in another color? So we're gonna label this as a line. Just like we talked about. Right? So a line is gonna be the 2 points, and you're gonna name it like this, with that over it, right? So, name it, put a line over it. No, we're not calling it that, we're naming it with its letters. I'm not just calling you boy, I'm calling you Simon, right? That's what you want me to call you. Okay? So you're
Okay.
gonna label this E, H.
Come compare with someone around you and see if you have the same thing. So compare with one or two people around you.
Give it names though. So like this is point R, and this is line EH, so EH is the line over it. That's what she's wanting. Okay.
I know how to do it now.
Okay, so now if you've seen somebody's that, and now you know how to do it, now fix your paper.
The line underneath of it, and this one's gonna have arrows on it. This one's gonna have two arrows, it's gonna have one arrow, just like we wrote in our notes. So think about what you just wrote and review it. And then there's a line over it, correct?
It's like that name.
Uh-huh. She's gonna, will you do it when we're done?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. If you're completely confused, you can leave that too.
Okay, let's look to see if yours looks like mine. So, what is this, first of all? A line, a segment, array, a plane. It's a line. How do I know that? Okay, it has two arrows. So how I would name this is I would pick 2 points on the line. I only have 2 points right now. And I would put a dash with arrows on the top.
Does yours look like that?
Okay, so if you don't have that, write that in right now. Okay, what about this one? What is that one?
Segment. It's an array.
It's an array because it has a point, the starting point, and an arrow. So array, you use 2 letters, a dash with 1 arrow. And for the record, the starting one needs to come first. Okay, and then what is this here? A segment. I know that because it has a starting and an ending point. So for a segment, I'm going to use 2 letters and just a dash on the top. Look at the difference between each one so that you pick the right one for the right line, segment, or ray, or point. Okay? How was that? Not too bad? Good, good. Okay, how much time do we have?
21.
Okay, let's...
9 minutes, 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Let's make sure, I know what we should do. We'll save our assignment for tomorrow, but for